Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in. As always, I'm looking forward to spending some relaxing, crafty time with you. Now today, I thought we'd make a lovely little card design look, and this is on an A6 card blank, and this is using our wonderful Bron. And we've got one of our lovely little bees here, look. Now, what I want to show you is I have started decorating the back, and that's just, I do think, depending what way you put your card in your envelope, I always put my cards in face down, so it's a surprise when they turn it over. But I like when the recipient opens it, that they see this. So there's the back of the card, and decorated the corner of the envelope, as I say, on the left, always on that bottom corner. And I must just say, the little bee, look, he looks fabulous on the envelope flap. So really, I feel you've got a lovely design with everything covered. Let those crafty juices flow. So we're going to start, and I'm using one of our lovely A6 multifarious card blanks. Now, she's a sizable stamp, and I'm going to use the black, the Versafine Claire Nocturne. Now, I just have to watch it. I do have a habit of over-inking her. And again, we all know what we're like, don't we? I think if you have these little faux pas, you just have to go with it. And I'm going to stamp her slightly to the right, a little bit up, just there. And it's fabulous because she's got a hand out ready. Now again, I've not lifted the stamp up too quickly because it is a sizable stamp. Then I'm going to stamp our little bee. Now it just happens we have this lovely stamp set called Bumble Hums. Now, it is a lovely stamp set, but I don't know if you can see, mine's changed shape a little. I've just cut this last little one out because I can still stamp it. I like that shape, but also I've got one on its own. But if I want, look, that would easily pop back, so I could still have that group, but I have found this one on its own so useful. And yes, before you ask, I did give it an anaesthetic before I cut it. No bees were harmed, and I'm just going to put that here. So it's heading towards, it's going to say hello. I'll just give that a bit of a blot, just so that when I add the next little bit, I don't smudge it. And I'm going to come with Bermuda, and I'm going to use our mini hill masks. I'm going to get all three out. And you know me, I like to turn mine to the side. Now I could go for the flat one, but I think I might go for this one with a little bit of shape. I think that will just catch under her bottom, look, and just under her feet. Give a bit of shape to that area. So spend a bit of time, just get it right. Any green will do. I just thought, oh, that sounded like a song title, didn't it? Any dream will do. Anyway, any green colour. There's olive. I just went for Bermuda. We've got pine. We could have a little quiz, couldn't we? How many greens can you name? Oh no, don't give Tracy ideas. She might suddenly come up with the extravaganza and start testing me on ink colours. Got green sleeves, haven't we? You see, then my mind suddenly goes blank when I'm actually making myself think of colours. Lime punch. Right, take that away. And we've just nicely popped to there. Now I want a little bit of a hill as well. So now I don't want to do that because I think that's too much the same shape. So I'm going to do this in sort of two halves, look. So I want a hill there just between her wings. And I'm just adding a little bit of light colour. And just sort of to where her foot goes. And then I can actually move this round, and I want a different shape as long as I go from there. Yeah, happy with that. So you can do it in two halves if you haven't got quite the shape you want. And I'm basically just filling in that space, look. Not overthinking it at all. Now for my sky, I've gone for Blue Lagoon. And I'm going to come in with my acetate circle mask. I'm just going to file these on the floor next to where we can give them a wipe when we've finished. Now, you know me, I like to turn mine round. Now, I could spotlight our lovely little bee, but I've just fancied the moon over here. So into the ink and into the lid. Look, you can tell, see it on the lid. I just want to blend it nicely because I can always pick that ink back up from the lid. And did I tell you this is Blue Lagoon? I just thought Della Blue would be a little bit too pale. So again, a little bit more around the lid. And then when I'm happy with that look, I can come in just with what's left on my brush and just go round her wings, look. Probably going to get a bit of shadow. It's a very dark day here today when I'm catching up with you. Happy with that. And again, we'll clean that in a minute. I'll have a little spritz on here and just clean this blue up. Just basically wanted to add a bit more blue ink onto my inky binky, that's all. And then when I was thinking of what colour to add round the edge, I've actually gone for the scorched timber, the lovely brown tones. I could have gone for a darker blue, but I just thought brown, it's it's a nice earthy colour. And I'm starting in the corner, and then again copy just a kitchen roll or copy paper under this hand, just in case I've got any ink on here. And get those corners nice and dark, circular motions up the side, turn it round, and then catch that corner, look, and right across there. And I'm just using a blending sponge for this, purely because I have a blending sponge with brown on, and I haven't got one of the large brushes with brown on. So that's the only reason I need to get another large brush. So what I do now is have a look and see, and I think I just need a little bit deeper in those corners. Yeah. And again, happy with that. So we'll give this a bit of a quick spritz. Now, if you've got a spare piece of card, you can drag your card, smoosh it through that, and you've got a spare background. But obviously we're just cleaning up today. Now, the stamping, up to you. I mean, you could leave it like that. Nice, clean and simple. But I'm going to come in with this lovely maple leaf. And my main colour for my stamping, I'm going to use Portobello. Now, I love this big stamp, and there is one of the mini stamps that just goes with it perfectly. So we'll have one in this corner to start off with. And I tend to do my corners first. One. And for those of you that are asking, the reason I did the ink around the edge first, if I'd have done my stamping, I would have had to blot it, and I was worried I might smudge it. And also it gives me a better indication, an idea look. It sort of frames it first, and then I'm adding my stamping. Again, that's just the way my head works. I want to bring a main focal point in at the base, and for that I'm going to use the seed heads. Now, this is a fabulous stamp set, and it has an open one that you can colour in, or a solid one. And again, they look lovely together, but I'm just going for the solid one for this, and we're going to have just groupings at the bottom, I think is best for me. You don't want these to look like sort of soldiers all stood same distance, all facing the same way. So we're going to go for a bit of a grouping. We're having our florals and our foliage in clumps. So we'll just add mere suggestion of something there. Now, as much as I like that, it just needs something else at the top. And that's where this lovely dangly, this is from the foliage set. Now, when I was thinking about colours, originally I got another brown out to use, and then I noticed on my table I'd got Bally Blue, and I thought that'll pick up those blue tones in the sky. So again, I'm going to add just some little groupings of this. And I don't want them all to be the same, so I'm being mindful. I don't want them all the same length, and also I don't want the clumps all to be the same. So I want sort of larger clumps and smaller clumps. And I'm just going to turn it round. I find it easier stamping on the side, but then I turn it round just to have a look. And I'm thinking just a little bit more colour at this edge. Yeah. So to tie in, I'm going to bring another colour at the base. I could come in with the blue, but I think it would look nice to tie the green in because we've got the blue and the green. So in with our lovely Shady Lane, or Shady Lady as she's known. And the orchard flower. Sorry, grass, orchard grass. I'm renaming everything today. Do you ever have days where that happens, or is it just me? And again, we'll go for clumps, look, and just changing that direction a little bit. And can you see, just makes it look more natural. And I've used first and second generation, so again, we've got more depth. And I think that's just built up so lovely. And we've got quite a lot of detail. I mean, we're only on remember, an A6 piece of card, but you can still build up a beautiful scene. So now for some colour, and I've got now remember, I struggle with this name, these aquarelle pencils. So with the orange and the yellow, I'm going to colour our beautiful bee look. And with the light blue, just give a hint in his wing. And then on our beautiful fairy, I'm just going to put a couple of strands of orange. She's had her hair done, and you know what it's like when you don't just have one tone. So I'm going to add the beautiful yellows, look. And then I'm coming in with this almost like a light brown, and I'm going over the top to blend that yellow and the orange, and it just gives her hair some lovely tones. And matches with our lovely bee. Just saves doing it all one colour. Just think it takes our colouring and just gives it a lovely, just that bit better effect. So on with the blues. The darkest of the blue I'm going to put in the middle, look, just for some real drama. And again, middle of that wing. And then my next blue, and again, I'm just getting my kitchen roll to lean on. It's almost in thirds, if you think. So my dark blue is at the base, and then my mid blue is in the next third, and then over the top of the whole lot with my light blue. Now, I'm going to add my clear wink of Stella, but you could always use water to blend these, or in my opinion, I think the pencils blend so well, you could actually leave them without even adding the water. But as I say, we'll come up with this is the clear, check it's clear, and if we do her lovely hair first, and so this will blend those pencils together, but also it will add that lovely bit of sparkle. So because I've got yellows, oranges, browns, I can then come in on the bee, clean my brush, and then back onto the wing and onto these wings here. So start with the lighter blue and just blend them, and then blend that into the mid blue, and then into that dark blue, and look how you can really drag that dark blue. Just clean my brush a little. And then onto the light blue. And again, blending that into the mid blue and into that dark, and just dragging that dark colour along the edges of the wing, and clean my brush again till it runs clear. And that, I don't know if you can pick up that sparkle. As it dries, the Wink of Stella, you will have even more of that beautiful glisten. So, pastel pencils next. And we'll add a little bit of white, just a little bit of highlight from the moon there, so it'll just catch her knee. And again, you can use your gel pen for this. I'm not overthinking this. I'm not adding an awful lot. I'm just going to smudge it with my hand, maybe a little bit just on her front here, just a little bit of shape. Just the light will catch, so she's not so much of a almost dark silhouette. And I can just catch a little bit, look. And just on there. And then while I've got them, I'm going to get my black and my dark green, and we'll add a little bit of shadow. So if I look, I'll use the green first. So under her feet, look, we'll have a bit of shadow there. Be a little bit of shadow under her legs, and then under her bottom, but the shadow's going to go more this way and under her wing, look. So here it'll be quite straight, and there you'll get more of an angle. So I'm going to add a little bit of the black as well, but I like to introduce the green just so we've got that mix of two colours. And then this is just a biodegradable cotton bud. You can use your fingers, but especially with darker colours, I'm trying to not get too much on my fingers. There we go. And again, I just think that gives such a lovely touch. To add a little bit of interest in the sky, I've got my water brush, look. And I'm just going to come in and add some little droplets. So our stamping is our permanent ink, so it won't be affected. I just want that lovely ink we've used in the background, so the brown, the blue and the green. Now if I want a couple, look, and I'm actually going to add these little dots. And then while that's drying, I'm going to come in, and I've got this lovely gel pen, and this is the glaze, and I'm just going to add a little bit of gold. We've got this lovely edge in here. This is a sort of lovely yellowy gold. And just where we've got this nice edging, but what's nice is, look, the lines still show through. Now again, you could actually wait till your faux bleaching is finished. I don't want to keep you too long. I'm conscious of how long I keep you, but I think that just adds. If we bring the kitchen roll, oh yes, that's enough. I always like to give it a bit of a dab just to see. So if I show you, can you see it's just taken that starkness off the sky and the land? It just gives it that nice, I love that. And then, so you could leave it like this if you're happy with that. But again, you know I love my splats. So with the yellow sparkle, just so we've got that lovely magical sparkle, so I've given it a good shake. Remember, if you can't get the splats, give the nib a little pump. Your Posca's a pump action. It's got a ball bearing in because it's your acrylic paint and it separates when it's left. And I just store mine. Some are in a little jar, my decorated jars this way. Some are on my craft desk this way. So whichever way they're stored, give them a good shake. And remember, if you've got one of these watches that counted steps, you get a few steps for that. So I'm just saying, always worth shaking your Posca. Hence, every workshop, most videos will shake our Posca. You think that gives me a few extra steps. So, extravaganza at the weekend. When you see me at my craft table doing this, shaking my Posca, what I'm really doing is getting myself some steps in because I won't get many. Right, now I've got my pen quite close, so I'm avoiding. I could put a mask over our beautiful Bron and our lovely bumblebee, but I don't need to because I can direct exactly where I want that Posca. And look at that. And for me, the Posca just goes lovely. And when it dries, look, it'll sparkle even more. So we've got a lovely sparkly wings, and we've got that lovely magical of that yellow sparkle. So that's the one we've created today. And there's the one with our envelope. And just to remind you, this was the design that I created on the back. Now I think another little bee and maybe a sentiment. Don't need a lot, do you? So I hope you enjoyed that. And for those of you that make smaller cards, I did want to just show you that you can get a full, beautiful design with a sizable fairy, sizable stamp. Don't just think it has to be the minis, but introduce some of your beautiful foliage. Now, I'm coming back tomorrow. Might be sneaking in something a bit special, but shh, don't tell Tracy. Might have something new for you. Anyway, bye for now.